Oh,
Mhm.
oh, we're live. Anyway, hi Audrey, welcome to Venture with
Yeah, yeah,
Grace.
yeah, yeah. Okay, nice.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me.
It's literally live. But anyway,
Oh.
okay. To first of all, I need to say a disclaimer because I don't want anyone to sue me. Anyway, so disclaimer, I'm an investor in Nosu. That's it. That's a disclaimer. Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go. Okay, so to start the show, I want the audience to learn more about you. So first of all, obviously you have won over 20 hackathons and you are basically you are a champion on Instagram of, the tag community. Let's start with where you come from and what the hell's going on. So
Yeah. Um, so I came from a town in Michigan,
mhm,
um, Okemos, which is right next to Michigan State University, the
mhm,
university I went to. And
mhm.
I started off
You know,
as a finance
I have
major.
to say my first intern went to University Michigan State University.
Yeah, Michigan State.
Yeah, yeah. I recruited a
It
lot
was,
of people from Michigan. I feel like and then the second intern was from like the Michigan Ann Arbor. So I feel like
mhm,
I'm connected to the Michigan community at this point.
mhm. Yeah, yeah. They're starting to build their startup community there as well. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Love that. Love the
Mhm.
Midwest. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. So I started off as
Mhm,
as a finance
mhm.
major. Then I went to my first hackathon, decided to vlog some hackathons and keep winning hackathons. And yeah, now here I am.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so first of all, I feel like there's like a few things really unique about you. So like, number one is like I feel like you have a really crazy drive and like you are over the place in the Bay Area. You're taking over. So why
Mhm.
don't we start with like where does these like motivation come from and like obviously assuming your parents or like the family are not intact, like how do you kind of like self educate yourself into this career path?
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. So previously, my parents both like worked 9 to 5s.
Mhm,
So entrepreneurship was a bit different. But I think hackathons are definitely what got me into this field. And Um, the reason why I want to push so hard is because I simply think that I am able to do it. Like I believe that the vision can be bigger than like each day than what I previously thought.
mhm,
Um, and I just think that thinking that's feasible has really helped like drive.
mhm,
I think it's much harder for a person to push hard when they don't believe that
mhm,
there's like a very big vision. But since
mhm.
there is, yeah, it's been easy to work hard.
I feel you. Okay, so let's start with your hackathon life. So you're the co-director of Sparta Hack, which is
Mhm.
assuming your school's hackathon.
Yeah, my
Um,
school's
how,
hackathon.
okay, so how do you get involved with your school's hackathon? And tell me about the journey. And obviously, you have won every hackathon after that, but like
Mhm,
maybe you lost to it twice, but like I don't know. Like so, basically, when you win these like hackathon, like how do you even discover them? And then how do
mhm.
you I guess like got involved with it, like, as a student, do you just, like, literally purchase a flight yourself? Like, that's probably hundreds of thousands of dollar, and then you just flew there? Or, like,
Mhm.
tell us about the journey of, the hackathon journey,
Yeah, yeah,
basically.
yeah. So basically, for everyone wanting to get into hackathons, um, usually look around your local universities, like search up your
Mhm,
university name, search up hackathon alongside of it, and try and go to the nearest ones first. And then
mhm,
what you said about like the flight tickets, they cost money. Some
mhm,
hackathons actually reimburse.
mhm,
So if you scroll like down the hackathon website, there should be
mhm,
like a reimbursement section.
mhm,
But what I would do is I could buy that reimbursement with previous prize money. So I was really driven to win hackathons because then I could go to
mhm,
the next one. So I'd use the
mhm.
winning prize money and then pay for the next flight.
Okay,
So,
so
yeah.
how do you even discover these hackathon?
Mm, yeah, so there's several sites. There's Major League Hacking, there's
Mhm,
devhost.com, and now recently Nosu. Um,
mhm. Go.
and yeah, those are the sites where they just get
Mhm.
posted. Yeah.
For sure. Okay, so let's talk about Nosu. Hi, Vansh. Nice to meet you. Anyway, say hi to the audience. Anyway, so okay, so Nosu is a platform where people can discover hackathon, and then people can also sponsor hackathon. Maybe if you could
Mhm.
talk about like the business of a hackathon as a whole, and then as a hackathon host, like maybe if you can tell us more about like how do you really organize a hackathon? Because like obviously every time it's just like hundreds or thousands of people actually all come, and then it's actually not just like cold, but also like technically people live there for a day, right? So like it's like
Mhm,
a huge organization. Uh, I want to say hazard, but like I feel like it's a lot of work to organize something like this.
mhm.
Maybe we'll talk about, yeah, just like from the business angle, like how does a hackathon work?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So from the business end goal, sponsors want a lot of developer engagement with
Hmm.
their communities. Um, or yeah, if a company is hosting a hackathon, they just
Hmm.
want a bunch of signups and people to like hype up their tool.
Hmm.
So that's why like as the role of an organizer, you're not only
Hmm.
like making sure all the logistics run well, but
Hmm.
also more on like how the hackathon runs itself, like
Hmm.
the operations,
Hmm.
how much people want to participate in each of the tracks that you design,
Hmm.
and the events alongside the hackathon.
Mhm. Okay, so what's a psyche of like I mean, obviously people want them to use their tools. So like this weekend I've been to a hackathon and then
Mhm,
obviously there's like, I think weights and biases, I with weights and biases, and then there
mhm,
was like, Google DeepMind was there and then like a bunch of like other
mhm,
top like these AI companies.
mhm,
So I see that like it's not seems like the sponsor were trying to like ask people to like use their developing tools on top of their product or use their
mhm,
product somehow. And
mhm,
then what kind of benchmark do you have to guarantee the sponsor? And then I guess like from the
mhm,
sponsor angle, like are they just like literally just like the founders? Or I mean, I've seen the smaller companies like literally the founder was there, or like the I guess like who do you even contact for like a Google DeepMind to I guess sponsor the hackathon or like collaborate. And then I also saw a lot of like sponsors technically do they offer free credits and stuff like
mhm,
that. So like how does it all plays into the hackathon? And I guess like how much credit do you typically ask for from a company if they're sponsoring like credits and stuff?
mhm. Okay, so I'll address the questions in order. So
Mhm.
for um
So
the question
professional.
yeah, so for the question about like reaching out to big enterprises,
Mhm,
we're still figuring that out, but we usually reach out to the heads of growth.
mhm,
For like our IPOs that we partnered with, we reach out to the growth people.
mhm,
Um, and for larger enterprises, I just got this advice from A16Z
mhm.
when I was in their
Oh, that's
office.
it.
Yeah, so I was working with it, like their salesperson, and like their salesperson told me to reach out for like the smaller products inside like a large enterprise for like
Mm,
Google, like
mhm,
Google DeepMind or like Microsoft, like a small tool in Microsoft. So
mhm.
yeah, and then
Wow.
the for credits, the amount of credits we usually ask for.
Mhm,
Um, well, it depends on what kind of tool they're building and how many credits like actually let people do something. But
mhm,
usually, um, sponsors are pretty like generous with their credits.
mhm,
So it looks like it's usually like um for like one time uses, uh they provide like more than enough credits
mhm,
for anyone to like use that tool more than once. And
mm,
then sometimes they even give like monthly subscriptions to all the participants. Uh, but yeah, with a hype event like that, it's sponsors, if the prize is not monetary, they usually are willing to pay a lot of credits or give a lot
mhm.
of
I like always see the credits are like, oh, we're giving you like I don't know 300K worth of product, and then I'm just like always so amazed by like the crazy number that at like these like events.
Mhm,
Um, I wonder how do you think about? Oh, by the way, hi Daniel. I wanted to say hi to the audience. Okay, so how do you think about like organizing it? So like first of all,
mhm,
like how do you promote it, and then
mhm,
obviously we'll dive into Nosu, but like I guess like
mhm,
how do you let thousands of people know this hackathon exists, and then how do you I guess like put together ensemble a team of obviously I see your reels that there's like the hackathon organizers, there's like the finance people, that's the sponsorship stuff, and then there's like the I guess social media promoting person, and then
mhm,
there's like I guess the people who recruit all the
mhm,
hackathon people to come. Like how does it all happen? And then especially I know that like I think like in my era, I think AmHack was like a big hackathon
mhm,
um place, and like I feel like people would like flew in from like Penn or
mhm,
whatever like to literally go there. And then like for me, it's just like in shock that though back in time we were all using like a Facebook group. Like literally that's how I met the first person in Silicon Valley. Like it was the most random stuff ever. And
Mhm.
like it was like literally like back in time people were using like a Facebook group to organize these things. So like you can only hear about it
Mhm.
from like a Facebook group. But I don't know how the next generation people actually does it. Is it like on a Luma page or like I know that you're supposed to create like a hackathon page, but like I guess like where do you recruit the first like call it 10 people to like come and hack?
Mhm. Yeah, so LinkedIn is a great distribution platform. Um,
Surprise. But yeah.
yeah.
As LinkedIn influencer, I do not know.
Mhm,
But
mhm,
anyway.
mhm. Yeah, LinkedIn, surprisingly X, like, a lot of people are on X in Silicon Valley.
Mhm,
That's a big
mhm,
yeah, I got invited to a Partiful by someone on
mhm,
X, like, shout out to her. But,
mhm.
a lot of, like, the younger generation is, like, are, like, meeting through X events or put
But
events that are posted on X.
okay, so another question about like access, like I feel like access like very follower driven. Like you supposed to have X amount of follower to be like seem as like legit, and then you
Mhm,
I guess when you post something people will show up. But like
mhm,
before you got there, as like since I feel like hackathons are started by like hackers at like different colleges and stuff like that, right? Like so how
mhm.
does like the information distribute if like I don't know if you're legit, you don't know if I'm legit, you're just like a guy from a school. And like how do I know if this thing is actually happening? I don't want to flew to like Michigan and be like, yo, there's absolutely no one hacking there.
I mean, it helps, like, with building a personal brand either around the hackathon or around, like,
Mhm,
yourself.
mhm,
Both, like, either an organization or yourself helps,
mhm,
and you can, like, share, like, real videos, real photos.
mhm,
Um, it also is helpful when you organize hackathons and you've also had, like, a track record of experience in hackathons. I think
mhm,
that's, like, one of the things that has driven a lot of users
mm.
or
Um,
participants,
okay.
yeah.
Let's talk about like I think you did such an amazing job building a community on Instagram and
Mhm,
like how do you first start it? Like I think we already chat about this, but I want the audience to just like generally learn more because obviously you're a queen on the gram.
mhm, mhm. So, how did you build an audience on
Oh
Instagram?
yeah, and then I scrolled out like the maybe start from the music era. So how do you pivot from like the music content to hackathon content?
Ooh, okay. Yeah, so, I mean, before hackathon content, I was doing a bunch of music reels, and they
Hmm.
were not getting that many views.
Hmm.
Um, but one day, like, um, I pivoted from to hackathons because
Hmm.
it was, like, more of a risk, and I wanted
Hmm.
to see something that people would get excited about. I mean,
Hmm.
people can get excited about music,
Hmm.
um, but it's like hype events where, like, there's a big cash prize as
Hmm.
well as, like, a cool project are some
Hmm.
things that people get excited about.
Hmm.
So, I think that excitement was kind of what drove, like, the community. Like, I'd be, like, posting projects about, like, rockets
Mhm,
or, like, makeshift VRs or
mhm,
things like that, and
mhm,
I think when you build something that's, like, interesting and people immediately see on your feed,
mhm.
then they just follow you.
Yeah. I wanna say I think, like, you're really good at storytelling because like, I think the hot pot video blew up because of,
Mhm,
like I think it has, like, a story arc. How do you
mhm,
compact, like, the story arc within, like, 35 seconds? Like, because I
mhm,
think it's really fast, right? And then you
mhm,
went from, like, "Hey, I'm a random person, I come to San Francisco. I went
mhm,
to this, like, hot pot to pitch," and then you end with an investor. I mean, like, what
mhm,
if you don't have exciting news, like, you land an investor right away? Like, how do you really create that arc in your, like, normie day-to-day life? Not I don't think your life is normie because I feel like you have a lot of exciting stuff going on. But
mhm,
if, like, a regular person's life, they don't get, like, Hackathon prize every single day, right? Like, they go to a job and then, like, I don't know, stuck in traffic and stuff like that. So how do
mhm.
people adopt these kind of storytelling in the day-to-day life?
Ooh, okay. If it's just a normal day-to-day life, there's still something I think I would pinpoint what would be the most interesting part, even if it's not, um, like, compared to other, like, events
Mhm,
interesting, like,
mhm,
pinpointing that and being like, "Oh, this is an event I went to, and this happened."
mhm,
And
mhm,
then make that sort of like the climax,
Mhm.
but at the same time, like put it in the front of the video. So put it in
Mm,
the front of the video and then tell the backstory and then build it up to
mm,
the climax and
mm.
then end it with a success. And I think that's a good storytelling framework.
Wow, I love that. Okay, so but, like, since, like, I think yesterday I wrote, my little script about, like, I went to
Mhm, mhm.
women happy hour at
Oh, yeah, I
Cart
just
like,
watched that, yeah.
thank you.
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm,
so I think the problem is, like, it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only 7 sentences, right? Like, so how do you
mhm,
really create that arc within, like, a really short amount of time? Because I think you do that really well with your Michigan mayor video and stuff like that. So, like, how
mhm,
yeah, like, that's a really big one. I think that's a really bad example, but you make the day to day looks good, right? So, like,
mhm,
your typical stuff are not like, "Oh, you meet the Michigan mayor." It's like
mhm, mhm, mhm,
you walk with a boba on the street, right? So, like,
mhm,
let's
mhm,
talk about the vibe on, like, creating, like, a 7 sentence structure
mhm,
within,
mhm,
like, your short videos to tell a story. So what
mhm.
would be how do you compact the 7 sentences?
Oh, okay. Let me just think about it right now. So the first sentence, because it's about boba, like walking with
Mhm.
boba on the street, it would be
Yeah.
like, um, okay. So
People implement this today. Whoever is watching, please implement. Keep going, sorry.
mhm. So the first sentence would be, "You did you know this about boba?" And then the second sentence would be, "So I previously did not like sweets that much, but
Mhm.
because I'm in a new city and I'm exploring different places, I'm trying all these new boba places." And
Mm.
so after that, you're like, you show like the you show off the boba room and you say what's cute
Mhm.
about it, like you put down observations, sort of like in the hot pot video where I was talking about, oh,
Mm.
San Francisco events are different. I showed the chandeliers, I showed the hot pot. You go and say, oh, look at this cute teddy bear on the side of the room, look at
Mhm.
all these like lights that says drink up boba. And
Mhm.
then next sentence after that is, you're like, what I liked about, like what you liked about the boba specifically. So
Mhm.
at this like, at maybe like Sweet Boba, call this like place Sweet Boba.
Mhm.
I really liked their honey lemon boba. Um, it tasted especially citrusy, and
Mhm.
I liked the boba because it was actually cooked well. And so now people have incentive to go to this boba place, but also
Mhm.
continue watching because they see
Mhm.
like something that could be positive. And at the end, you're
Mhm.
like, oh, and after I drank that boba, I just felt so good, and I went on a walk around San Francisco after, and the golden sunlight was beautiful. Um,
Wow, dude, what?
and then that's it.
Wait. That's so good. Um, I feel like I don't know how you create these things in your head, just 'cause I feel like the raps probably matter. Also, like, your speed about
Mhm,
life is, like, unbeatable. Like, I you
mhm,
just show up at everything.
mhm,
Um, I think, like, the younger people who are watching, like, I literally want to ask, like, how do you "Hi, Johnny." Anyway, so how do you even create, like, a cadence for yourself? Because, like, you're on the go mode every single day. I feel
mhm,
like I'm on the go mode all the time, but, like, I think you are the next level, like, you're in real life, like, I mean, I'm not lying. So, like,
mhm, mhm,
how do you kind of, like, find these, like, really interesting events, and then how do you pick which one to go or not? Just because in SF, like, I think obviously you show about everything at the beginning, but, like, how do you kind of, like, rank these things, like, what matters, what not? And then obviously you guys are pitching some, like, really amazing investors, like, I think you have a really great, like, you're asking favors or, like, asking help from people, but on the other hand, you gave out these, like, really positive vibes. Like, I feel like a lot of other people maybe, like, fear of asking,
mhm,
but I think you're a great, like, storyteller as well as, like, I guess, like, sales guru. I don't know if that's a positive word, but let's start with, like, the events. Like, how do you build a brand immediately in SF?
mhm,
Like, through going to different things, and then how do you structure your day to make these, like, mini momentums happening? Because you deliver momentum on social media,
mhm,
and, like, that creates, like, a bigger, um like a ripple effect to your
mhm,
business and your personal brand, right? So why
mhm,
don't we start with, like, how do you, um, just create, I guess, like, decide which event you're going to, or, like, the tactics to actually create momentum.
yeah.
Hi, LinkedIn user. I don't know who you are, but
Right.
the emoji is fire.
Mhm. I think I would rank it as in number one, the
Mhm.
like the events, like the partful events, the
Mhm.
partful events where you like specifically get invited to, probably.
Really?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I thought Particle just literally just Luma.
No, 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 no. I learned this like 2 days ago, but like apparently people send out like invite only events, like not Luma, but like
Mhm.
a higher level up in Luma. So
Okay. Yo, I mean, I gotta love Particle. It's all people's birthday parties. Like, it's like I thought it was literally just like a birthday party specific event platform at this point.
mhm, mhm. um yeah, but apparently like yeah, there's like secret dinners, like things like that people just like invite,
Mhm.
and I don't know, like I think it's because like you talk like I think people have like a helping each other mindset here where
Mhm.
you send someone events,
Mhm.
they send you events back.
Mhm.
Um and and yeah, I think it's like it like happens all through like X messaging or text
Mhm.
messaging. And after that I would rate the Luma with the Luma events would be like ranked after that.
Mhm.
Um and specifically I think any like network Luma events are good, or like Luma events where I can use new tools, I would go to that first. And then below
Mhm.
that are Luma like DJ parties. I don't know, I don't really like loud spaces, and I try and like shout over everyone when I'm trying to talk.
Mhm.
I've met
Mhm.
like a few leads there, but
Wait,
otherwise
you
I mean I
mean
might
people at
probably
DJ
rank it.
parties?
Like the raves, like the raves on Luma. Like
Okay.
yeah.
So maybe walk us through the process of like obviously I think like, I think your first check was at the hot pot, right? So like I fear like I don't know how to ask people's money at a hot pot. Like, so how does that journey look like? Obviously, it's a different situation because
Mhm,
you were like at a hackathon or something, or like a
mhm,
presentation of a competition.
mhm,
So like maybe there's like just a random angel investor sitting there, and then but like how do you kind of like strike up the conversation of like fundraising? Um, just curious at like a social event. So yeah.
mhm, mhm. It's weird because I don't think I ever like bring up the fact that I want money
Mhm,
first, or not even first, but like almost never. I like always wait for them to bring it up first. For example, like yeah,
mhm,
at hackathons or like at tree hacks,
mhm.
landed a $10,000 check through conversation. Just
Through
because like
conversation?
huh?
What?
Huh?
Because only you can do it. I don't know how you do it because I feel like you do it like in an art format. Like I don't even realize like that was a pitch. But anyway, keep going.
Yeah,
Tell
no,
us
no, no,
about
yeah,
the
yeah, no.
feedback.
It should never really be like a hardcore like give me money pitch. I think, I, I think, I think like looking at it from a human perspective. Also, this guy was like 20, and he's like he
Mhm,
has like $100 million. I don't even know, bro. The kids here are just like yeah. He was 20. It was
mhm,
at Tree Hacks, and I was
mhm,
just yapping about the platform and talking about the hype, like growing like 7,000 users in 12 weeks, whatever.
mhm,
Working with 7 YC companies, and then he was like, "Can I angel invest?" And I was like, "Huh?" and and he's like, "What check sizes do you take?" And I was like, "I mean, up to you." And he's like, "10K." And I was like, "Okay." And that
mhm,
was it. Like, I think it's not about talking about if you're fundraising or not.
mhm.
It's like talk about the actual like concrete traction, and that usually
Mm.
like that makes a lot of people be like, "Wait, what is this?" Like how can I be part of it?
Yo, okay, I have a two question for you.
Mhm,
So I wrote this down about tree hacks is the third question, but like
mhm,
two questions. One is like the VCs trying to find deals at hackathon. Is there any hacks for them? Just because like everyone looks like they're hacking something and then everybody there's like I mean living in San Francisco, there's a lot of people have great credentials, like pedigree, blah blah blah.
mhm,
But like at a hackathon, like obviously you can hear about these ideas, but like who is actually gonna pursue the ideas after the hackathon? I think
mhm,
99% of people are just gone. Like they don't start a company, go back to work at I don't know, Google or OpenAI or whatever. But like you never see them ever again
mhm, mhm.
and they show up at the next hackathon eating a free sandwich, code, and just for fun, right? So those are the people that who goes to a hackathon, and then there's also the builders like yourself, like that actually decided to go off and start a company. So like,
Mhm.
how do people really track these hackathon stuff? And then also another question is like, well, as a founder slash angel investor, whenever I go to these things, I only see who went. Like, right, like I mean, I see the summary of like there's 3 people win, and then
Mhm.
like the rest of them, I cannot understand the deep technical stuff that like people are saying at these
Mhm.
hackathons, right? So
Mhm.
at the hackathon, people are always like focusing on the deep technical expertise of stuff. I'm like, okay, that looks legit. This is also looking like legit. But like the problem is like, can they really turn this into a company? And
Mhm.
like, what about the technical mode, right? Like, and then the stuff that wins typically are like the ones that you feel like, oh, it makes sense, like from like a product angle. Like I can understand the
Mhm.
product. I think
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
stuff that win typically is just a product. It's not a
Mhm.
company. It is not like a deep technical stuff. I
Mhm.
don't even know if there's any mode, but it just looked like something that like a regular person on a day-to-day life would interact with, right? So
Mhm.
how do you think about tracking down the best company from a hackathon?
Mhm. Um, okay. Yeah, so that would be one question then. So it's like, how do you find the best founders at a hackathon and tell
Mhm.
if it's like a company?
Yeah. You wanna
Um,
answer that, or you want me to shoot the 5 question all at once?
oh yeah, no, I'll answer this first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, just me
Yeah.
being super awkward at construct conversation, but anyway.
Mhm, mhm. So, yeah, to find the good founders at a hackathon, um, either design like the way the hackathon is ran. For example, we partnering with the VC, but
Yeah.
we will not tell which VC, but we're hosting it with them, and it's like you can either design the hackathon to um first vet the people that apply to it.
Mhm.
So there could be just like a huge number of applicants, and you look through all
Mhm.
their profiles. Um, and if they're already founders, then you get to like see their workflow and how fast they execute.
Mhm.
So like for example, it's just the top 50 of all those applicants, and they
Mhm.
all have founder backgrounds and they all compete. Or
Mhm.
if you're just like if you didn't design the hackathon and you go to a hackathon, it is really
Mhm.
just hard to tell, which is a problem that we're trying to solve right now.
Mhm.
We've had a lot of thought about this, about like what kind of competitor is applicable to what thing. Like A, if they could be hired like from a startup. A, if they
Mhm.
are a startup founder.
Mhm.
Um, but there's definitely a lot of thought to put into it socially, and like seeing different kinds of people, noticing patterns about these people.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah. So Nosu is going to come and try
Mhm.
and crack this problem.
Okay. Um, how do you think about, I guess, like, since, like, for example, you come up with when you're pitching the tree hack person, or
Mhm.
like not pitching, but when you're talking about your company with like 7K user,
Mhm.
in 12 weeks, or like all these like numbers, how
Mhm.
does that convert into like an investor pitching LPs? So, for
Ooh.
example, the
Mhm.
investors, like their track record is what they invested in. But the
Mhm.
problem is like for as a hacker, as a product builder, you can build a product in your bedroom for like 2 weeks and then you're done, right? But like and then that's like the cost of actually building something right now in software. But the
Mhm.
problem is like as a investor, like or like as a VC trying to build a portfolio and then
Mhm.
show it to the LPs, like that you can't do much besides you list out like the 5 company that you met last week you think is amazing. But the problem is like the LP can just direct invest, and like how do you, okay, go for it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
More passion.
Uh-huh. Ooh, I don't have as much experience. I mean, I think I'm pretty close to one of the VCs that like raised a lot of money from LPs, like Andrew Chen, Mark Andreessen. But
Mhm.
um, I don't know. My intuition would tell me that um, it would be it would also be about like the VC philosophy and having like a unique one. For
Mhm.
example, like it looks like Boost VC found their niche in deep tech.
Mhm.
Um, and Earthling VC found like their niche in like finding disruptive software.
Mhm.
Um, so if you have like a really good philosophy that an LP would be like invested in, or like Um,
Oh, I think the
mhm,
philosophy is just one thing, or like, I think you meant like investment thesis or like domain expertise, right? But I
mhm,
think the other problem it would be like, how do you think about creating FOMO? Just because like a lot of the momentums are driven by FOMO, like,
mhm,
how much you close like last week or how much you close this week, blah blah blah. You're, for example, for yourself, you're constantly updating that on Twitter.
mhm,
But for the, I think like obviously you can do that with LPs too. But like the problem is like couple of things. Like what if you're trying to land like your lead? So for example, for you, like
mhm,
you like as a founder, you typically need a like a lead investor
mhm,
and
mhm,
then like a bunch of follow or whatever, like and then you build up the cap table that way. But
mhm,
do you shoot for that one lead first or do you take 500 angel check first? And then how do you create momentum with a lead when they're like taking their time to like process the whole
mhm,
information?
mhm. I mean, I think my racing strategy was pretty bad before. Like, I just took like a ton of angel checks. I mean, now I have a friend who's like helping me set up an SPV. So
Why are
there's
you setting up an SPV? I thought you were, wait, keep going, sorry.
oh, um, well, I mean, I think I think it's just like whatever you set as your targets, like how much runway you want to have in the next months,
Mhm,
and um, I think for finding a specific lead, that's like what I've been like. It depends on the round because right now we're not really trying to find a lead. We're just trying to find like an investor that aligns with our mission the most.
mhm,
I think it's
uh,
not about. I mean, I think it's all like a pretty big game, but
mhm.
um, like it really depends. I'm still really new to this,
Mm. I
so we're
think
just.
you're
Mhm.
doing a good job, but I guess my question is more towards, like, how do you create momentum when you have no product? Like, because
Oh.
for when you have a Nosu, which is like a platform, and then you guys
Mhm.
build the website and everything. But for investors to like raise money from LPs, like they literally have no product. Like, what is a product? The
Oh.
product is like your track record, your portfolio, but
Mhm.
that means that you have to deploy a lot of money. That means you have to
Mhm.
raise money to deploy money.
Mm. I think. I mean, I still don't have experience with that, but I mean,
Mhm,
I'm just still going off of intuition, but like social
mhm,
intuition.
mhm,
But like for example, if you're like putting content out to Instagram and you want a lot of people to believe you, some people like can see your conviction through the video and that's why they follow
mhm,
you. And if you're
mhm,
a founder, like even if you don't have a product and you raise like a pre-seed like without any product, like
mhm,
investors can tell your conviction and they like
mhm,
think something's interesting. I think when anyone thinks something is interesting and they also see
mhm,
that the person is will like do anything to do it,
mhm.
um, like you just have to give out the aura probably.
Oh,
um,
yeah, I think the aura is hard to like convey because
uh-huh.
it's like I don't know. Like I think yeah, the aura is like the hardest to
Hmm. I think
show off
I
in
think
public.
well, I think one way to convey that aura maybe would be like the sheer amount of effort that you've put in, like, and they see it too. Like, for example, we tell them, oh, we reached out to 500 people straight, like on LinkedIn in 2 days,
Mhm,
just to get some clients, or we reached out, or we made like 2,000 calls or something like that, or we
mhm,
talked to like 200 investors, or
mhm.
we made this many reels and we got this many people.
Numbers
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, because even if
Uh,
there's no product, like I think an effort can be also be shown in numbers,
yeah, dude,
and
I
that's
love
something
that.
concrete.
Another question is like, how did you find Aiden? I feel like having a good co-founder is like really hard. I'm so jealous of your co-founder relationship because I feel like you guys are everywhere all the time.
Yeah,
And
we're everywhere all the time.
and dude, like I mean, I feel like it's so hard to find like a person that's like having the same level of insanity with you.
Hmm?
Like the same level of insanity to like literally just do a bunch of okay. Obviously the audience hate this question. Hi, Viraj.
Hey, what's up?
I don't know how to pronounce your name. But anyway, apologize if I pronounce it wrong. But
Mhm.
I guess like how do you find the co-founder that's like matching your energy to like go off things as at your pace basically go after things at your pace.
It's sort of like finding hackathon team members. Instead of like asking a bunch of people to be your hackathon team member,
Mhm,
something about you has to stand out to make a bunch of people reach out to you.
mhm,
So, um, like previously when I did my first few hackathons, I would be like trying to pitch myself to a bunch of people. Um,
mhm,
but I realized that number one, I have to work on my skills
mhm,
and like, um, for example, show them projects that they actually think are cool. And when
mhm,
they see those cool projects, they're like, "Oh,
mhm,
can we team up?" And then when you have people invested in you who are your
mhm,
teammates,
mhm,
then it makes yeah, then like I feel like that's where like people are willing to like ride with you.
mm.
Um,
But how do you yeah, keep going, sorry.
yeah, and so for I think founding, I think it's like the same type of thing where you like develop a different skill set than hackathons, or maybe your skill set is like shown by like how many hackathons you've done and like
Mhm,
succeeded in. But some kind of even if it's not a credential,
mhm,
like that metric of hard work or effort or being like I went to this many, I did this many things, or showing like a hardcore
mhm,
project,
mhm,
or maybe like yeah, like or
mhm,
analysis of the hackathon that's coming up, or analysis of the company that you're gonna do, like maybe like well yeah, like if I had to find a co-founder again, what I
mhm,
would do is I would like have an extremely clear vision of the product I was going to build and outline it like either like written or
mhm,
and have it be unique in some way that would
mhm,
like attract a very specific person there instead of being like general.
mhm,
Um, I think some people can afford to be generalists because of like their
mhm,
credentials or whatever, but I think being like having a niche, whether it's like a hackathon, a winning project, or a company, or finding people or teammates
mhm,
or co-founders, having
mhm,
something like okay, like and by niche I mean like specifically um, uh, for a company, it's like I have this founder market fit,
mhm,
I've done this, and it
mhm,
also fits with the idea that I'm doing, and they're like, wait, that makes sense. Like those two things connect, and
mhm,
then for uh maybe for like an investor trying to get LPs. Yeah, honestly, I still don't know, but I feel like yeah, no, okay, I can't say anything about this because I just don't. I am not. Yeah, I'm like humbly saying that I just do not know how that works.
Okay, I have a question for you. So, okay, another thing is like about trade hacks. Like, is there any new trends happening there? Like, I know that you said great things about like the talent density on social media, and then like I saw on my LinkedIn feed, obviously everyone went the tree hack. I don't even know how many people can even win that thing.
Mhm,
I don't know. Like, I just see people congratulating each other. So, wait, what is so? I know tree hack is like a Stanford hackathon, but like, what's a vibe? And then
mhm,
is there any, like, new, trends that coming out of the hackathon? Like, what are people building?
mhm. Mm, I've been less involved in hackathon trends. I mean, I think more people are building agents and more things with conversational AI.
Mhm,
I could be lagged like a week or two behind, but
mhm.
I think yeah, I think I was
But that's
like
still
more
above other people because you're a week or 2 behind.
yeah, I don't know. When I was actually like doing hackathons week by
Mhm,
week, like I would see the patterns change, and then it would
mhm,
also like help me help get wins
mm,
because yeah, you just see like the trends of like the most common things that people build
mhm,
versus like the coolest things that people build.
mm.
Um, I mean,
Wait,
I
how
saw
does
a lot
the
of people
trend
doing
involve
physical AI or
physical AI?
physical things, or like
Mhm,
jailbreaking into like Apple Vision Pros, things like that.
mhm. Oh,
Mhm.
I see, like, this week's, like, hackathon I heard this week's hackathon prize for the last hackathon was, like, a Apple Vision Pro or something, so, like, the
Ooh.
hackathon I went to, but
Mhm.
it was not anyone building in like Apple Vision Pro, but
Mhm.
wait, so what is happening? So you're saying like basically you mean like robotic stuff is happening or like AR,
Um,
VR is happening?
I think AI and VR is happening, and I
Mhm,
think yeah, conversational AI agents.
mhm,
Um, yeah, I haven't really noticed like too different of a trend yet, but I think I just have to get more like re-immersed in like the collegiate hackathon field.
Mm. How do you balance like building like investor relations? Because I feel like you are very good at both. Like you're great at sales. Like how do you spend your time on like building your product, talking to customers, and then talking to investors?
Hmm. Um, well, it's good having a co-founder for sure because like then Aiden and I can um, have specific roles, and it helps us like build momentum together.
Mhm.
So um, yeah, like Aiden and I both design the product, and then like he mostly builds. I sometimes like do engineering, but like we know that like a good sort of combo for founders is like one hacker and one hustler.
Mhm.
So I'm sort of hustling, he's sort of hacking. um, yeah, and
Um,
yeah.
how do you like actually work on product with like I guess like the builder, they need to like deliver the product
Mhm,
in a certain time. How do you
mhm,
measure that time? Like I typically like if I work with an engineer, I'll be just be like, hey, how much does this thing take? They can say 2 months. And then how do you make them shrink the time? Or I guess like how do you measure like how long a feature or like some sort of things have to be built?
mhm. Well, previously we actually had an organized structure where we would be like doing launches every 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Um, Obviously, because of recent events like the robbery and whatever. Um,
I'm sorry to hear that, but I
it's
think you guys
okay.
bounced back real quick.
Yeah,
Didn't
no,
you
we
just
bounced
get
back.
out
No, we
of
did. We literally started working like 2 hours after. We did not care. Um,
No, dude, you need to stop leaving stuff in, like, coffee shop. I know this is, like, your, where
oh
you
yeah, yeah,
live,
yeah.
right?
That's
But,
right.
like
Yeah, I
yeah,
when we
dude,
met up.
stop doing that.
I know.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
stopped. I stopped. I stopped.
Okay,
After
then
that,
you
I've been carrying my backpack everywhere. You,
okay.
yeah, yeah. When we met up, and you were like, "How's your stuff there?" And I was like, "This is normal in Michigan," but
Yeah,
like,
dude, this is not normal in the Bay
yeah,
Area.
yeah,
Your
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
are
yeah.
gone,
And
like, your investors are gone from the laptop, like, people can take the everything else back. I was worried,
yeah,
man. Like, it was crazy. But
I've
anyways.
stopped. I've stopped. I think I got a welcome to SF moment and learned my lesson.
Oh, yeah, do not do that. It's not Michigan, so
Yeah, it's not Michigan. It's no. Um, yeah.
okay. So, I guess, like, you mentioned about creating momentum every 2 weeks, basically. That was a
Yeah,
thing.
but now we've changed our model up. Like then like we had a period of time where we were just doing a bunch of random stuff. Like Aiden was pushing out like the features. He made the robbery game, and I was like getting random checks. But now
Mhm.
we're getting back together. We had like a talk yesterday. We're going to figure out our goals. What when we want. Oh, we're doing a rebrand, by the way. We're
Oh,
going to
rebrand?
rebrand completely our name, our website.
Oh,
Um,
wow. I'm excited for that.
yeah, the name is much better. This name is cute, but I think the name that's gonna come is gonna be a bit better.
Oh,
And
wow. So, it's not gonna be called Nosu anymore?
um, yeah, it's not gonna be called Nosu anymore.
Oh, no. Okay, so I suppose we'll change, like, the title of this thing
Oh no
or,
no
like
no no no! The rebrand's later.
okay. Um,
Mhm.
what so I wonder so, okay, so you guys are hiring interns. Who is DMing you? Are these, like, interns or something? Like, did you okay, so
Yeah,
you guys
yeah, 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 yeah. I should turn off my iMessaging things
no, I
because
feel like yeah, it's, um
mm,
don't
yeah, I
worry. I
just
feel
got
like
this new computer because of the whole computer being stolen. But oh, there we go. Okay, off. Um, yeah, just uh, yeah, like friends.
okay. So
Mhm.
I wonder, how do you think about like growing your team? So now I know that you guys posted about like having interns or like having video editors and stuff like that. So how do you really find these other, I guess like tech influencers? Also, how do you really capture the Gen Z engineering community? Just because I think the least like my expectation is not like I was in shock that like you are building the community on Instagram just because I would think like when you think about Gen Z, people think about TikTok or
Mhm,
like I
mhm.
don't know, like some other places. But Yeah, like I feel like I haven't really think about like engineer on Instagram because like what can I really post, right? Like you can post code on Instagram, but how do you like think about creating the authentic content to capturing the engineering community on IG?
Um, okay, so I think you had another two questions this time. I forgot what the first question was.
Oh, like hiring or growing a team, I
Oh,
think.
okay, yeah, hiring and then content.
Hmm.
Um, so for hiring, um, yeah, we kind of try to keep like hiring down because we don't want a high burn rate.
Hmm.
Um, and we're just gonna keep on like moving fast in this stage,
Hmm.
especially with the rebrand and everything. We just don't want it to be slower. But we have like we have started intern interviews, and there's this one guy who like really stands out, or one person who really stands out.
Hmm.
So hopefully we'll be able to choose that person. And then I mean I used to think that I should hire like fast and outsource
Hmm.
because like my aunt owns like this real estate business and she outsources a lot.
Hmm.
But yeah, I guess it's just thinking about the type of business. And since this is like a software business, we're able to just keep a small team. I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure like aren't isn't like Cursor's team 10 people or something?
Oh yeah, it's like
Mhm.
it's very small, I heard.
Yeah.
So how do you think about like, but I feel like most people are hiring engineers. Like, how do you think about hiring? Because I feel like it's something you guys think about it differently.
Hmm. I mean, there's this like I think I'm thinking about it as in like I'm willing to take a risk if it makes the company better.
Hmm.
And I'm also willing to like uh, be straight up with people as well.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
if it doesn't work for the company, I got this advice from this YC general partner. She
Hmm.
was saying um, that like first time founders keep like people around too much and they don't like let them go if they aren't working. But she said that like second time founders or third time founders, they're usually more comfortable with just like being brutally honest. And I
Hmm.
think for hiring, it's like, yeah, you can take the risk, but also you can like have expectations and you're able to like tell people if things are working or not working. So I think in that case, like when if we do have enough money, then I would look forward like confidently to recruiting
Hmm.
or hiring.
How do you remember all these quotes from the YC general partner or partner at AXNZ? First of all, like you also build a network really quick in Silicon Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess like how do you even meet them in the first place? Obviously, I feel like maybe they're everywhere, but
Mm, I mean, for the A16Z, I was like really sleepy at like 1 a.m. and I just decided to send an email to A16Z
Mhm,
like directly, and they were like, "Oh, okay." And that's how I met the A16Z people. And then for the YC general partner, um, it's because of Boost VC.
mhm,
Like being like getting your first institutional investment was crazy. Like we were able to be at their summit, and
mhm,
they had like a few incredible people there, like
mhm.
Ariel Zuckerberg, um, and then yeah, the YC general partner. Like having to.
Um, I guess like how do you quickly build up your personal um presence with them? Just because I think a lot of people, there's like a lot of like hackers or builders out there, but I think you are very successful at like having hat space or like having mind share from
Mhm.
people.
Um, I would say I like let my energy carry itself, and if if people aren't interested, like I can usually tell when people just don't want to talk, and I just I don't keep trying. I just
Mhm,
let it go, and then find someone who actually wants to talk, and
mhm,
then I take the person, or take or then I go with the person who actually wants to like talk, and then
mhm,
in that way I'm able to build more relationships
mhm,
um, with the people who are actually interested. And maybe it would be only like 1 in 10 people that are interested. So like I have like a brief conversation with one person, they don't care, they and then the next person, and when I finally get to that 10th person that actually cares, then I just like
mhm.
move from there. I think that's how it's been working.
Mhm. But I think it's like really hard to like process if like 9% reject you already or like not interested or like couldn't
Mhm.
vibe with it. I feel like like especially in like fundraising journey, it's probably like, you have to talk to 10 people. I feel like how do you even know if you actually have what it takes? Because I think it's really hard to like giving yourself that confidence at the very beginning. I don't know if you ever think about like, oh, am I not ready for this? Blah blah blah, because of like XYZ. Oh, told me no and stuff like that.
Could you rephrase?
Like, okay, if you're getting a lot of rejection at the beginning, how do you know if you have what it takes to raise, or you should just like chill? Because when people are always saying, oh, you can't do blah blah blah, how do you deal with rejection basically?
Ooh, I mean, I would just go in with more belief, but also
Mhm,
more of a strategy. Um, I think the way that we've been able to build momentum is now we've like chosen, hey, we're going to have only this specific time to raise. We're not going to be raising for a year.
mhm,
Um, we're going to have like a sense of urgency.
mhm,
Uh, and so I think if I was like dealing with a lot of rejections, and I had like rejections from 5 VCs in a row.
Oh,
Um,
I don't think that's I think that's nothing. 5 VC in a row, nothing. I
oh,
think people are rejecting by hundreds of VCs.
oh,
Like, have you
okay,
heard
okay,
about
okay,
this
okay, okay, okay.
company
Okay.
that they're dealing with 80 rejection, and then the 81 like they got investment from the 81 investor, and then they're IPO the company now. But like, I
Mhm.
wonder how do you deal with 80 rejection in a row?
Hmm. Mm, I would try and learn from each one then. I would I don't know, I feel like adaptability is a strength
Hmm.
and like being able to read the room after and like change the things you did before. I mean, if someone is getting 81 rejections, maybe wasn't as adaptable,
Hmm.
perhaps. Like I feel like after the first 10 or 15, um, like they're like the person would be able to like take a step back and
Hmm.
be like either something about my traction is wrong or something about the way I'm pitching is wrong, and then I would just go and find mentors. Like I've been sending the deck around to people and having them like give me feedback.
Mm. Um, would you ask feedback to ask for investment, or would you just ask for investment to ask for investment?
Um. Oh, you mean would you ask for investment for feedback, or would you just ask for investment?
No, like in Silicon Valley, there's that old saying that like if you want money, you ask for advice. If you want advice, you ask for money, or that's kind of the um
Ooh.
vice versa. I
Oh,
don't
I've
know.
never heard of it, but I can see
Okay.
it. See. Um. Uh, like, could you rephrase again?
So, a lot of people actually wants investment, but they
Hmm.
just ask for advice
Hmm.
because like I think people are saying if you directly ask for investment, people would run.
Oh. I. Yeah. I mean, I think. I think it's a combination of both. Like getting feedback from a variety of different people, or ooh, just even people who are like a few steps ahead. Like if you were a founder, like people who have gotten to the same place or the place you want to go, you ask them for advice knowing that they won't give you money, but like they know they'll only give you advice.
Mm. Okay, so I know we're about to run at time. Why don't we
Mhm.
finish with like a fire round? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
What's your favorite book?
Favorite book? I'd say Leonardo da Vinci by Walter Isaacson.
Mm,
It helped me learn like being multidisciplinary is actually like beautiful instead of and focusing on different things at once is actually pretty cool instead of just doing one straight focus because you can learn from all the different areas.
wow, deep.
Mhm.
Um, who made the biggest impact in your career?
Biggest impact in my career? Probably. Mm, Probably my mom, honestly. My
Mhm.
mom has like really, really big work ethic or really high work ethic. So she's always like trying to aim higher in her career, and I saw her like study at 5 a.m. for like her CFA exam, and then while she was like raising 3 kids, and like she leads by example for sure instead of straight like parenting. Like
Mhm.
I think kids like learn from the quality of character of their parents.
Mm, deep.
Mhm.
Who would invite to your dinner party?
Who would I invite to my dinner party?
Mhm,
Um, well, I would invite like authentic friends. I would invite my music friends, and
mhm.
I would then have like a drawing party where we all draw space cats and play guitar. I really miss playing guitar and like singing harmonies with people. So if I had a dinner party, I would want to have a bunch of like cute. I would want to have ramen and um, like dairy-free ice cream and guitar, and then the space cats. I think that would be really fun.
What is Space Cats?
Like just cats, but like space themed.
Oh, okay. Um, who where can we find you outside of work?
Where can you find me?
Outside of work.
Oh, outside of work? Um, oh shoot, yeah, I have to go at 10. But
Okay, go.
outside of work, you can find me, um, well, usually with a guitar, but I don't have a guitar right now. Um, but probably writing somewhere. Like,
Mm,
yeah, I like to introspect a lot.
love that. Okay, so I'll let
Mhm.
you run, and
Yeah,
thank you
yeah,
so much, Audrey, for coming on the show today.
yeah. It was really great to talk to you again.
You
Yeah, I'll
too.
see you.
Oh
We
my
should
god.
hang out.
Yeah,
Mhm.
totally. Okay, see
Yeah.
you soon. Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Yeah.